guys, and welcome back to some Dead by Daylight. So, I did a stream on the day that the Resident Evil chapter came out, and we worked on Nemesis a little bit and tried to figure out some cool stuff with Nemesis. So this video is going to be largely detailing all the stuff that I've learned with Nemesis to try to help you guys be able to jump into this killer and utilize him to the best of the ability that I can help you with. First and foremost, with his add-ons, I've noticed something that's a little weird. You got T-Virus Sample, which considerably increases mutation rate when destroying zombies with Tentacle Strike, which sounds great. But then there's also Tyrant Core, which moderately decreases zombie respawn time and moderately increases mutation rate when destroying zombies with Tentacle Strike. So Tyrant Core is just a better version of the T-Virus sample because you get faster zombies. So, I mean, yeah, this is moderately. So, I mean, potato. I've ran both and I haven't seen any difference, but I've definitely seen a difference with the respawn rate. And then the Liquor Tongue I like, just because it gives them hindered. I also really like the, where is it? The Depleted Ink Ribbon. This is really good. I think we're gonna run the ribbon. So, as with all my other little help videos with killers, might not perform the best on this, but I'm gonna try to do the best that I can. And one of the first things that I realized with Nemesis is even though he has zombies that walk around the map, his map presence is very, very poor. He has very bad map presence. He is one of the tallest, if not the tallest. You know what? Let's just take a look. So I know Michael's tall. So his head goes above the iridescent shards. Michael's tall, and he fits in it. Like, there's no other killer, even Pyramid Head, doesn't. I mean, if he stands straight up, sure, but he almost never stands straight up. So, this man is tall. Like, really tall. And so it kind of makes it easier for survivors to spot him whenever they're running around doing stuff, doing this and that. And so it makes it a little bit more difficult to have map presence. Dragon came out to be noisy. She's being noisy right now. Anyway, but yeah, so it's a little tough. One of the things that I found, and I've tried multiple different builds with him. I tried a map presence build to try to build up his map presence. I've tried a just survivor focus build where I just tried to focus all survivors, and I've tried like a balanced build that I would normally use, like maybe on Michael or maybe on like Plague or something. And the best build that I found is this Gen Pressure build. Now, arguably, you could probably substitute Whispers for, like, I don't know, it's something better. But I like this build specifically because you hook a survivor and you get pop goes. And so you go and you use your pop goes, and then you have your overcharge. So if they miss the overcharge skill check, then pop goes already goes off. But it also has eruption, and then the eruption helps on top of all of that, because if you go and you kick, we'll say 5 generators, and you down somebody, and 3 other survivors are working on 3 of those 5 generators, it forces a regression start. It loses 6%, which can extend the match just a little bit. Nemesis is definitely a very, very late game killer. But I really like this combo. Arguably, you could probably go with Lullaby, Huntress Lullaby, but I didn't want to run the risk of using Lullaby and then you turn around, you have them cleanse the totem, and you got a dead perk. It's not going to help all that much in the long run, as Lullaby gets found very quickly. When people see Lullaby, they're like, oh, we got to get that like now. Even over Ruin is like, okay, well, we can kind of work around it, especially with the recent rework. But yeah, so Lullaby could go in place of Whispers if you wanted, but I don't like it. I like the ability to know that I'm near survivors. It's one of the perks that I use a lot for most of my killers, because it lets me know that I'm nearby them, and then I can start doing my certain hunting techniques to kind of flush them out and find where they're at. Oh, finally, we got a match. So this build is built around the fact that you want to pressure 4 specific gens. Very specifically. You don't want to try to cover all the gens. If you try to cover all the generators, you're going to fail. You're going to lose, which sounds really crappy, but because he doesn't have the presence that I would like to see out of this type of character, you almost need to force a 3 or 4 gen run. And if survivors are able to counter that, then you're running a dead game. By dead game, I mean you might get like 2 or 3 hooks, but you're not going to get very many survivors. And obviously, some people are going to be better than me at this game and better than me with Nemesis, and they'll say otherwise, or they'll have a different build. But this is just what I've found. Every time I've forced them to 4 gen themselves and then 3 gen themselves, I've been able to keep pressure on them enough that it has turned a game where I've very rarely gotten very many hooks into a 4K game, which is interesting to think about. One of the first things that you are going to want to do with Nemesis, you want to focus on infecting the survivors. And I really think the meta is going to change for survivors, kind of like how it did with Plague after a little bit, where if you're facing a Nemesis, you're not going to go for the cures early on. And I think that's how you're going to want to face a Nemesis if you're a survivor. You don't want to cure yourself early on, because if you don't have the cures in late game where all the pressure starts to build up, then you're opening yourself up for a lot of issues. And once we get into the match, you'll kind of see. Well, so now, I guess, you guys will kind of see, whenever I hit a tentacle strike on a survivor, I get a pretty good chunk of my mutation, which is down. Oh god, I gotta up the DPS a little bit. There we go. New mouse. So this is my first time playing Dead by Daylight with the new mouse. Don't judge me too harshly. The tentacle strike that you kind of want to go for right out the gate, you want to try to get to mutation 2 as quickly as you can, because mutation 2 will allow you to start using tentacle strike to break pallets and doors. So okay, well, if I would hit him, I would be able to show you. There we go. I got half with that, and that's huge, because you can almost indefinitely get tentacle strike all of them, get up to mutation 2, but you might not be able to get up to mutation 3 just by hitting them. Dead hard. Gotcha. Let's go push them off this gen real quick. Hi. Infect you. Get mutation 2. I also see someone right there. There's scratch marks. There's a hook right here, so we'll be able to pop goes this gen. Mutation 3, you get a little bit of distance on your tentacle strike, which is good, admittedly. It does a lot of good, and it does well. Okay, so they already used up a cure. Oh, there you are. I see you. I was gonna say, I know this person's like right here. But yeah, so every time they use a cure, I'm able to get some more juices off of them. Looks to be about a third of your bar every time you smack or infect a survivor with your tentacle strike for tier 2 to tier 3. Reason why you want to go for tier 2 as quickly as possible, she kind of like phased through the wall there, Jesus, is because you're able to break pallets and doors without having to look down, which is the biggest thing that you could possibly want, because then you can track the survivors so much easier. Damn it. She's gonna go through the window. Told you. I'm hyper-focusing on the survivor. I shouldn't be hyper-focusing on the survivor. I should be putting pressure on gens, but... oh well. Are you running dead hard as well? No. Okay. Well, there we go. See that power of the boom booms that I have. That perk, the eruption, that's it. I'm still trying to remember all the perk names. One of the most annoying perks that has come out with this chapter is 110% the freaking flashbang nonsense. My god, it drives me absolutely insane. So you'll know zombie is near somebody if yeah, so they just infected somebody right there, which is amazing. The zombies can actually infect and hurt people, which is awesome. And some people would call it overpowered. I call it... what? Where did this guy go? What? I guess he ran this way, but he didn't leave any scratch mark. With how much he struggles with map presence to begin with, it just makes everything a little bit easier, and you can kind of keep a little bit more pressure that you would normally not be able to keep. I'm gonna put him over here. Oh, hi. That's awkward for you. Got him? We're almost up to tier 3 infection, so that's nice. Let's pop goes this bad boy. There we go. He ran over this way. Did I already hook that? Oh, there he is. Did I already hook that Steve before, or did he start to, like, try to kill himself? Hi, Chris. Gotcha. Gotcha. There we go. Tier 3. Which I didn't think I got. Maybe I do get a little bit. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm still learning a couple of the ins and outs with Nemesis as well. But all of them are infected now. And 1 cure has been used. I do believe you get a total of 5 cures per match. And so they're doing the smart thing. I'm just gonna finish this Steve off. They're doing the smart thing. They're not curing themselves. I'll take you, Steve. I don't care. Gotcha. I normally wouldn't, but I am a little crunched for time today, so I gotta try to make this match a little quicker than normal. Ooh, that's good to know. You can flashlight stun a zombie. Okay, dead hard. Gotcha. I never knew you could flashlight stun a zombie. I doubt that'll count as a killer. Okay, they got that gen done over there. I see scratch marks, probably Chris Redfield over here. Hi, Jill. Oh, I missed? So actually, this match is working out rather well in my favor, which is surprising. Usually it doesn't. Did she actually bugger off all the way over there? She did. Oh, interesting. Well, I meant to hit you, but I'll take the pallet destruction instead. I mean, both work. Alright, so they're over there. Yeah, if you can keep this kind of pressure throughout the game, you end up being in a pretty good position. But as you can see, it's still down to 2 gens, and I'm in the point where Nemesis starts to shine. I can patrol these 3 gens specifically very easily in this section of the map. Easy. He really should not have exited the locker right there. Put my back to the flashbang so he can't get me with it. And this should be game. Yep, this game. This game actually went really, really well, surprisingly. I did not expect it to go this well. But yeah, so that's pretty much the build that I suggest, and how I suggest playing Nemesis. In fact, get at least up to tier 2. That way you can use your tentacle strike to break down walls and doors, and then from there you can track survivors 100% easier, make things 100% nicer on your end. I usually will not destroy my zombies. Now, if I have a zombie running around in an area that is not very populated with generators, or I know the survivors aren't over there, I'll destroy them to try to get them to spawn over in the area that I want them to be in. But generally speaking, I'll just let them roam. And so, I mean, take it as you will. It's about as good as I'm gonna be able to get with the amount of time I put into him so far. But overall, he's a pretty decent killer. I mean, I wouldn't say he's top tier by any means. He definitely has a lot of things that he struggles with, and I think some of his add-ons need to be readjusted. I would really like to see, instead of like the T-virus sample where it increases mutation rate, I would like to see maybe like the T-virus sample reduces cooldown when using tentacle strike to break pallets or doors or something like that. You know, something that's a little bit more usable, because I feel like some of the add-ons overlap each other, and it just makes them not worth using overall. So that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys found it to be helpful in any regard, and if you did, hit that like button. Let me know down in the comments below any builds that you guys have found that work with him, anything that you guys have found that I might have missed. You guys did that a lot with the nurse video, and I very much appreciate it. I didn't even know some of the stuff that you guys said in the nurse video, so let me know down in the comments below, and I will see all of you guys next time. Bye, guys!